Hello, I'm back again. So, from the last video that I made, when it comes to the dream where the invasion of the people of the coast that looks Asiatic, if you know which part of the video, then you know. I had said that I believe that was how it went, and I'd have to ask my mom. My mom is here, and she will tell what she remembers of that dream. Okay, can just say that for a sec. Wait, would you like to be on camera? Okay, she doesn't want to be on camera, so I'll put it close like this so you can hear.
Okay, good morning. Greetings from ya.
Nickeloda.
So in this dream, it was like I was watching television and I was in the living room and I turned the TV on and the TV was having a breaking news. It was breaking news and there were these Asian soldiers coming onto the island, onto the seashore. It was like the camera was there filming them running out of the sea. Maybe they jumped off the ship and just ran on land onto the beach, and they were coming like in droves. And it was like I was on the beach with them when they were coming on. But I'm at the same time in the living room watching them on TV. And at one point, I was telling everybody that was an invasion, and then I I was taken by these guys to a room, and they wanted to do things to me, and I said, "You can't touch me because I'm Yah's daughter. I'm a child of God. You can't touch me." And for some reason, well, I'm gonna say because of Yah, they didn't touch me. They just let me go. They never touched me, and I was on the bed with my friend. Lynn, we'll call her Lynn.
Yeah,
She is a teacher, and she was marking papers on the bed, and uh, she was wearing this white smock. It looks like a simple piece of cotton material, but she didn't have on like anything underneath. Maybe underwear, but not the top. The top was like exposed. One of her boob fell out, and they came by. She was there, and they took her off the bed, and they went away with her. And as my daughter said, you can only imagine as a woman in war what they do to women. So they took her. And further down in that dream, I was walking around the house. My room is across from my parents' room, and it was like the place mash up. The place it devastated. You can sense the gloom and the war in the house. So I'm walking in mommy and daddy room now. When I walk in mommy's room, her TV was on. I'm not really paying attention to what's on the TV, but her bathroom light is on, and I go in there and I see two soldiers, Asian soldiers, in her bath, and the tub is filled with water. They're on top of each other, but one is face down. One of them is unrecognizable, burnt really badly. I could barely make out his face. And I pulled him off, and there was another one underneath. But I couldn't tell whether he was, that nation that threatened Jamaica if we fire upon Cuba. But it looked like it might have been a different uniform. Maybe he was of a higher rank or something. But he also was dead and burnt badly in the bath, soaked in the water, underneath, submerged. And I'm like, who is this guy? I don't know who this man is. Why is he in my mother's bath? But I was really perplexed, and I didn't know where everyone else were. I mean, they were probably outside, or I don't know. It was just me most of the time. I maybe saw my daughter once in the dream, but my friend Lynn was taken, and I don't know where my parents were. I don't know if they were taken too. I don't know anything. And then I woke up. There's other dreams I've had too, like mostly tsunamis and floods. There was this one dream where I was standing at all right, we have a two-story home, and it's upstairs that I was at, and the front door was open, and we have a big view of the sea. Yes, we live near the sea. So tsunami, front view center. They get a full,
Yep.
yes, when you say now you get the preview,
Yeah.
me get the front seat preview of the tsunami.
Ooh.
All right, and it was tall. Please don't ask me how tall it was. It was tall. Okay, but it was a good distance from me. And I'm like, Casey, there's a tsunami coming. And Casey, I don't know where Casey was. I think Casey was either in the bedroom coming out or, oh no, she never heard me the first time. So I ran into the kitchen thinking she would hear me. I ran into the kitchen to hide because there is this section of the wall where it's like blocked off.
What's up with us hiding in kitchens?
I don't know.
Tsunamis.
But me go into the kitchen. Me go into the kitchen. And me come out back and me say, I'm gonna see Casey. Casey, tsunami. It's still coming. And Casey come out. By the time she come out now, it's still there. And I go back to the kitchen. And I'm like, all right, it should have hit by now. When we go, no tsunami. It's gone. But there is this, and that for sure how merciful he was. Because if he meant to send a tsunami, then he hold it back. Yeah, he's merciful. But you can't show mercy to a certain point, even him having limits. And give him, if God was like man, the world would have dead already. So when I see the tsunami come, what I saw in my dining room was a big tree, and it pushed all the way up to the roof. And it pressed against the ceiling, and it was like it had all these big, beautiful bell flowers. It was like blossoms. They were big bell-like blossoms.
Were they pink
purple,
or purple?
I think purple and black. Black with purple stripes, streaked. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I asked, what kind of tree is this?
Which in question, if anybody's watching this and you know what type of tree or even what type of flower this is, please let me know
I've
in
been
the comments.
searching
because
on
I've been researching with mom and we could not find it. Couldn't find it since 2024 or 2023.
It's almost as if we, exist maybe a one tree just so we may not know. And then I'm transported back to another time where it's still like we're expecting a tsunami, but it's night. Only it seems like it's back in the 40s according to dress, the way the people are dressed. Like the women are prim and proper. They wear skirts and them have them vests with a belt around their waist, stockings and high heels. Men are dressed in these suits, these black suits. The little boys are wearing like knee short pants with them shoes and socks, white shirts, then little tie and suspenders. It was, and we were at a shop. It was like everything was at a seacoast. What is it with seacoast? We're near the seacoast, and the vehicles are like, they're like them old 1940s. They carry them, and there's like like have big wheels with the big spokes. And they were like how you see them on wagons. It was like they were big wheeled wooden wagon wheels. They look like wagon wheels. And they were on, but the car was metal, but it wasn't like the cars that are shaped today. Just go up on the internet and research the old car, they from the 40s, 20s, 40s, come down in the era. We had those cars here, I think, at some point. Just research it. My girl, it was like we was waiting for the tsunami to hit. Brethren, pitch dark. Everybody a try if you go to the yard. We don't know where them a go. Them a look for drive, taxi. Me don't know. And people a wonder, how them go reach. Me walk down at the beach where somebody carry them park. And me say blouse and skirt, it dark out here. How them people here, how me I go home. Me can't see. Nobody can see. It was like, I don't want to say total chaos because it was urgent. You get a feeling that it was urgent. They knew it was urgent, but they weren't totally panicking. You see, when you don't see something that come or happen, you don't panic. You still hope say no come or averted, right? But they weren't dumb like we are. They were taking heed, unlike us today. So, me I beg you. Me not say me I no big profit. Me not say Casey I no big profit. But you see, prophet them when they tell us something, listen, even if it sound off. But look here, if you doubt we or any other prophets, please me I beg you, do what the Bible say and seek the Most High, like sit down and seek Him. Seek. When we
Not
say
just
sit
follow
down,
everything what people say, and I have to
yeah,
go
because you
to
go
him
hear
or
the
read the word and anything and
one or two
consulting
different.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
But you also have made yourself actually cross-reference the Bible with historical
yeah,
facts.
historical facts are
Because some may
important.
notice that things kind of fishy when you come to like Eurocentric Jesus and
Yeah,
anything like that,
yeah.
and the people them out the Bible. You have to understand him, G.
And my daughter mentioned the 1948 as me I go spit something. I know them are the Israelite are we. And that a part of why most I vex with we. Because we are in picnic them. We are Israel. The whole of Caribbean, the black people in America, anywhere we scatter, we are Israel. And that is why I'm vex with Jamaica. Because you see Cuba we brother.
Most just say from your subcar, like, you need to forget it. There's a reason why most of we have Spanish or Portugal last names, even French names, guys. Because the people feel say the first batch of slaves them just simply come off from the west coast, like them take them off the west coast of Africa and then just ship them. No, and so you go. Let me tell you what happened, because there are books about it as well. Again, consult Denia Israel because and we won't know because them have most of the information. May I just tell you what I remember?
YouTube.
From YouTube. I searched them up. Perfect. So listen. There were black Hebrew Israelites in Portugal, in Europe, but Portugal, right? In Spanish speaking countries. And they had a special last name, Negro, meaning black. Negro. That was their last names, and those were usually found in families with royal status. And the people of that time, I think this was in the 1600s, made a decree to send them out of Portugal and move them somewhere else, which moved to the west coast. We were a royal line, kicked from our homes, went to Portugal, had to change our name to Negro before we were then kicked out of that place and taken to West Coast, which then we were separated from our families. Parents were separated from their children. The adults were told to stay, or they were forced to stay on West Coast, while they took the children, 3 years old and below, to another country in which they were grown into the Eurocentric ways and then sold off as slaves. They were given
to be grown as Christians and then
slaves.
To slaves. Yeah.
Listen, the family unit is very important. The people of that time, the Portugal Jews, were known for celebrating the feast days and for keeping the commandments. The adults specifically, and the people that were old enough, but still young, but old enough to know the feast days and the importance of the feast days. Now, if you want to rule a people, take away their language, their heritage, what do? You destroy the family unit. You separate the parents from the children. You take the children somewhere else, and before they get the chance to learn of their history, of the feast days, of everything that makes them a Hebrew Israelite.
The Sabbath.
Black boy, black girl, here's a Bible. We will teach you as your gods how to follow our God.
They told him we were worshiping him wrong.
Told us that we were worshiping him wrong when we weren't worshiping him wrong.
And I just want to say this morning, I turned on Mom's computer, and what did I see? Trump is making Sunday into law, where the Sabbath will be on Sunday, not the seventh day, as Yah had already established it, the day of rest.
Mm.
All right. You see the Israelite them. We are the only families he shared the Sabbath with. He sanctioned us to do the Sabbath, and we don't do it because we don't know, because we've forgotten. But other nations that aren't sanctioned are doing the Sabbath.
Peek that real quick.
Sabbath is not just lying down and resting at your Seventh-day Adventist church and I eat that. It is very special. Very, very special. Read Jubilees and Joshua. I believe it's the first few chapters you can read about it. Read even Enoch. You will find it.
Guys, start making on a flatbread them. On a bread them.
From Friday evening.
Yahweh gave you recipes and ingredients
Yeah.
in Exodus of what to do on those feast days. No leaven in your houses during Passover. Passover and unleavened on the days of unleavened bread.
About 8 days.
About 8 days. It's really convoluted because some people say 7, some people say 8.
We're expecting the feast of weeks this weekend.
Right, this weekend. Guys,
or should I say
no
Sunday?
yeast, no items that have the ability to leaven your bread should be in your houses during Passover and unleavened bread.
And the Sabbath is unleavened as well.
On the Sabbath, unleavened as well. The breads that you make on Sabbath, for Sabbath, Friday to Saturday, should not have anything unleavened in there. It should be flat. Reason being is because when the people were coming out of Egypt, you must remember that when they were coming out of Egypt, they didn't have any time to wait for it to leaven. They had to take it up and make it. People, it's serious.
And if you doubt that we are the people, think of it. What other race has been through Deuteronomy 27 and 8? Who we ever see white people get to put on chains or yoke of iron it?
Let me peek this up, mommy. Let me peek this. Who? I'm not gonna go for this. I'm gonna say it. 1948ers. Holocaust did serious. It did bad. I'm not gonna scare it that did bad. But for all the pictures that I have seen, for all the videos that I have seen, not once, not ever have I ever seen them have yokes of iron around their necks. Ships were not involved, it was trains, but ships. It said that they would be transported by ships, scattered across the very earth. Packed on top of one another.
Seeing your children
taken away from you, and your sons sold as harlots, and your daughters given for drink. And you will build a house, but you will not dwell in it. And you will sow the land, but you will not reap and eat of it.
And another man will
sleep with your wife, and you will cry after your daughters when they were taken away from you.
And you can't do anything about it.
And you can't do nothing about it, or else.
And no one bought us back. The Bible said that you would be taken and sold, but nobody would buy you back. So this means Yah is going to redeem us, come and collect us himself. Jamaica, be able to self.
I have more to say. Please, mommy, calm down.
Man.
Calm down. How about I just do this alone?
Do what you gotta do. I'll be quiet.
Please. Okay. So the thing that you need to know is that after we were separated from our parents on the West Coast, those children were then sent to the Caribbeans. Some of them were sent to the Caribbean. Some of the adults had to have been sent to the Caribbean as well. And you would see movies in which they were beaten out of their names, sodomized, abused. Listen, Jamaica, when you were on the ships, listen, they were being soft when they said that you jumped off the ship. Cannibalism, sodomization. They made they made our ancestors use each other as receptacles for waste. People, they forced us to eat our people on those ships. They forced and they ate us as well. People, they would force our people to make leather books and leather skins because our skins felt so durable to them. People, you need to research your slavery.
You got the South version.
And the Amerindians as well, you need to research them as well. Because if you remember, they come from Asiatic areas and from African areas. You need to research them.
What's African time about slavery in high school now?
My mother, when she grew up, had the only thing they learned was that, okay, they put something on the Tino's head to flatten it down. Arawaks, to flatten it down. Me, in grade 5, I learned other information. Mom had to sit through that class and actually listen because this was new information for her. And she was sure new information for the people that she grew up with.
They hid a lot of things from us when we were growing up in school.
Listen, our people, you notice that things get really bad since 2019. In Genesis 14 or 15, I believe, Abraham had a dream. He fell into a deep sleep, and Yah sent him a terrifying vision in which 4 generations, 2 times, 4 generations, would go through slavery. The first set was with Moses, and the second set was when we were being taken into captivity. Now, our people have been taken into captivity many times, but he's naming the big ones, the big shot ones that we've never seen before. Because of the curses, we were supposed to be dealt with badly. But the people that were involved in the slavery did it too far.
They did it.
Which case will come to point Esau. We know who is Esau when we hear in 1957 or 1940 something, when the Arabian president at that time looked at Israelis and said, look, we don't respect you because you left black and came back white. And when you look at footage for 1925s, 1927, and you see the area for the Israelis, they were black. So why did they come back white? Remember when they said that they will make crafty counsel after the children of Israel? They were talking about the transatlantic slave trade and the sub-Saharan desert. The Ishmaelites are descended, or the Arabs are descended from the Ishmaelites, who was a child of Ishmael, who is known for being the founder of Muslim, or Islam. Or more like the descendant, or more like the ancestor of the people that founded Muslim Islam. Guys, you need to know your history, because it sounds like Judah himself was separated. So that would mean that the people who are enslaved right now is Judah. Everything that we know today will only be over when Judah comes together with his other true Israel. Because 1948, UN went and gathered them together, but UN is not God. UN is not God. You have to think of it like this. If Israel was together again, the earth would have been done away with already, and New Jerusalem would have come down on earth, and New Earth would have been here. there would have been peace already. There'd be no fighting. 1948
Anywhere.
would have been the end of the world already. We would not be here, possibly. Or we would have been here, but more peaceful.
He would have taken us into the land of Abraham.
Guys, the world will only know peace when Israel is back together again. And with the way all these people are moving, there is no Israel right now. Israel is not together.
And then they left the country over the come here, so.
You see how people say that if you go against what Israel says, you're in trouble. You're cursed. Listen. If such was the point, half the things that Israel did whenever they were doing committing sin in the Bible and people came to warn them, they would have still been in that sin instead of repenting at that time. And those people didn't get cursed. So what is this? Listen, if they're doing something right and somebody comes and tries to curse them or tries to be evil against them, yes, they'll be cursed. But if Israel is doing something bad and somebody comes and warns them or comes and hurt them, you think that Yahweh is going to go after that person? Especially if it's supposed to help Israel in the long run.
We have to get punishment.
We have to get punishment.
That's the role of a good father.
Yahweh most likely sent that person to do it.
It's all in the Bible. It's all throughout the Bible. He says.
I'll tell you this much. You will know who the people are who enslaved us in Obadiah. Because it says explicitly, Jacob I love, Esau I hate. Is it in Isaiah? I believe it's in Obadiah. Because, listen, Esau helped enslave our people. Pete, this might even be during the Roman Empire. Because listen to this. Rome enslaved them. But we also know that Esau made Rome, or is the ancestor of Rome. So knowing the people that we know today descended from Roman, like from Italy and Spain and Europe, Poland. You don't think it's safe to assume that maybe the people that we know today are against us, hate us explicitly, is Esau? There's a reason why it's white versus brown or white versus black and not pink versus white or pink versus black. It's white versus black. People like to say that we're descended from Ham, but listen, and that our skin is a curse. But listen, how can this be a curse when it protects you from the sun? Are we the ones that's getting skin rash in the sun? Getting burnt by the sun? You might get a little blotches, but it happens. You will heal over. Your skin is important. Your skin helps you last long. There's a reason why you're able to stand in the sun. Me personally, I'm able to stand in the sun for 8 hours. Walking up and down doing groceries. When I come back home, I'm a little dark, but just a little cool off won't. A little cool off helps and I'm back to normal. And then afterwards I sleep, I wake up, I'm filled with more energy than before.
Recharge.
The sun recharges you. Yes, you might want to sleep after, but it recharges you.
That's why they used this on the fields.
That's why you're important. That's why they wanted you. That's why they wanted us. People like Britain and France, the people of that area explicitly wrote down for the house of Judah to be taken as slaves. And those people, the house of Judah was in Portugal. They wrote a letter to Queen Isabella and her husband. And you want to know something funny? Those two, they were black. You live and you learn. And you learn and you live. Because they disappeared. Well, they were actually put in slavery, and it's so coincidental that our slavery started at that time when it said already in the Bible, which when they get sent off slavery, your kings and queens will be sent in as well.
1619.
1619. And when everything fell down to parts and people started blinking and asking themselves, is this really 1948 as the real people? 2019, 2020.
And that's 400 years.
People, wake up. Caribbean, the African American, the black diaspora. We have to keep this in mind. You're important. Everybody, everything starts from Africa. Hebrews are African, but not every African is Hebrew. Israelite. Hebrew Israelite, not Israeli. If somebody walks up to you and say, transform to Jewish, because it's the same thing, right? No, please don't. Because Jewish, I'm going to give you the tea right here. Okay, so from the Turkish people, right, the Khazarians, they're the people that we know today in 1948ers are descended from the Khazarians, which were made from the Horites with the Esau people, with the Edomites. So that would mean they were known for a cutthroat, savage people, warlike, very terrible. They were bad. And Turkish decided to switch to Judaism, which is known as a Talmud situation, a Talmud worship. You want to know what they have in the Talmud?
Oh gosh.
What they're teaching about the Talmud is not the real thing. Read the Talmud yourself. The Messianic, or what they call the Messianic, or it's a Talmud, but it's filled with philosophies of other men, rabbis,
not God,
not God, rabbis. For